And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talent League Titan Series Qualifiers Round 2. I'm, of course, one of your casters here, Rieger, joined by the lovely, you know what, I'm just going to let him introduce himself. He had some tech issues, but, I don't know if I'm putting it the right way, but go ahead.
Hello there, ladies and gents. Thank you, Ega. Yeah, I should apologize for the inconvenience at the first game. A little bit of problem here, my side, but hopefully it's all good now. I'm Noctage, your color caster, a bit analytical, and I'm going to help my beloved partner, Ega, through this game. Let's see what's happening.
Well, first of all, I should probably let this chat know what game we're going to be watching. Obviously, as you know, the system, just for some of the people here who are unfamiliar with the system we're running for the qualifiers or just new, we're running a Swiss system. So basically, a lot of the teams will face each other. The winners face the winners, the losers face the losers. And once they get a certain amount of losses, they're completely out. And once they get a certain amount of wins, they'll be qualified. It might sound a little complex, but basically teams will just face each other until they qualify or they get out. Basically, it's a little complex, but we don't need to get into that. But the game we're going to be watching right now is going to be BTD versus BEE. Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs versus, let me just get this name up because I'm definitely going to butcher this. Bekes,
It's an Hungarian team.
It's Hungarian.
I should apologize. Yeah, I should apologize to
sorry.
every Hungarian viewer.
Please, I'm sorry.
We don't know the pronunciation, but it's a Esports versus BTD, and based on the map bans that I wanted to get interesting and excited for a new map, but we have Skyscraper again. But we have interesting info about the bans that I let Jaeger talk about it.
I mean, I would love to go on about it, but you haven't had the chance, and I want to let you go over it. But I'll let you go in a second. But what I do want to talk about a little bit is about Skyscraper. I mean, last map we saw it was a 7-0 sweeping, and I'm just hoping for the viewer's sake and for our sake we get a much more interesting match here to cast. I mean, it probably was a good match for the fans of the Destiny players, but for us viewers or neutral fans, right? It was not the best of games, especially to start off in the Titan Series qualifiers. So we're definitely hoping for a much better game. I mean, there were a lot of games going on. The reason why it took so long to get to the second game is because a lot of these games were taking a long time. And unfortunately for us, I don't know if this is kind of caster's curse, but the game that we chose to cast was a one that got over almost immediately. And I have a little secret here. No, if I'm going to go, is so Esports, they were backed by our supreme leader Trippin. He said keep an eye on them because they were going to pop off, but we did not expect them to pop off in that kind of way. But anyway, no, go ahead. I'm waffling long enough. Just go ahead. Tell
okay.
everything you need to know.
So don't us wrong, guys. We would love to see a team dominate, but I mean, like caster-wise, we like to go into the full 15 rounds, completely hyped up. But it is what it is. Congratulations to the winner. And here we go into this game. So, B Sports have been competing in Talent League Season 9. And one of their constantly banned maps was Border. It was either being banned by them or against them. So we haven't seen B Sports ever play Border. On the other side, BTD has banned Chalet, Clubhouse, Cafe, Theme Park. All of them are big maps with huge roaming potential and also a lot of entry. So I would just assume, because we don't know what's happening behind the scene, but I would just assume that BTD prefer to not look for many kind of entries. Sky has a limited entries. You either go to the balcony, as I said before I have the connection issues. It's either you go balconies, you either bridge, rappel up the windows, or going very sneaking from the bathroom toilet. So I would assume we see a good game, since BTD don't like many kind of entries. On the other side, B, banning Bank, Border, Oregon, Villa, which all of those maps are interesting to watch. Very unique playing trees, very uniquely play and strategies. So here we go, Sky again, and I want to see how B and BTD approach this map.
True. I mean, you've given a little bit of a tidbit to think about, and it's definitely worth coming back to in a few rounds to see how the teams will be doing. But let's just quickly go over the bans as well, as we basically completely missed it. But on the side of BEE, they banned the knock, completely expecting BTD. They really do have those kind of aggressive players. I know Apex. I don't know if anyone else was watching it, but I forgot the name. It's gonna slip my thought. But he was playing on Verdis Galea. I can't remember the tournament now. It's gonna really annoy me. But he was playing it. It was for the qualification. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna come back to it once I remember it. But basically, I've seen him play before, and he is a really impactful player. Really aggressive on the entries, and if he gets going, it's really hard to stop him. I mean, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But that's probably why they use this knock ban, because they don't really want to deal with those kind of players. I mean, not just Apex, but knock is just a really annoying option to deal with in general as a defender. You know, you can't really go on the cams, and a good knock placement usually almost always ends up with a good entry pick, especially with the nades as well. So it's no surprise that she's been banned out here. So we're gonna see that BTD on the side of the defense, they brought the Clash. Now, I don't know about you, Knock, but the Clash on round 1 is definitely something that you don't really see that often, is it?
You either see that Clash having a huge impact or die by a huge push in the first round, I'm saying. So yeah, I'm excited on the Clash bringing it up. It's a bold move. Oh, that's a jump out, buddy. Stop.
True, Dan jumps up, doesn't find anything, but the buck here, Hazard, does get basically the entire control below the site. He's going to be free to open up the floorboards as he pleases, at least for the time being. Maybe someone will come down the stairs and try to challenge him. But I really like this flash pick, because once the bridge does get opened up, she will literally be able to stand and the wall. She'll be a portable, like the Monty of defense, right? That's what she is. She'll be able to call out everything for the team, all the information about the players and the plants going down, and where to swing with the exact pings, and it'll be really good information. So it'll be important for a step of BE to clear out the Clash, but it's not started out well for them, as Apex, the player I called out earlier, does start out with a huge kill on Taribo, getting the entry pick onto Sky. I mean, I'm getting good flashbacks from last game, you know, when the defenders got the first pick, it didn't really end up very well for the attacking team, but we're gonna play it different. You can see here the steps are being followed. BE have gotten the vertical control they need. They're starting to open up the breach. Yes, they have. They just need to start getting a few picks before they get through. And of course, as well, the Clash to be dealt with. They have a few pieces of utility as well, but only have a minute. So it's going to be quite tight clock for them to be able to get all the checklists done. Mine play as well, you can see.
Three drone alive, 1 minute to go, and already 2 players on not on the full health. So it's interesting and hard going to be for the B to approach this round. And that's another huge kill on a full health Garen. Ace not in the round anymore. He's going to watch 3 drones and another. Here we go, another kill by the bug, literally on 10 HP.
Said 30 seconds left onto the clock. Time is ticking low. These players of BEE, they need to enter the building quick, but you can see who's in the way. That Clash being such a huge nuisance to this Lion. He doesn't have any EMPs to deal with it. It's gonna have to be a last second rush into the site, a last ditch effort to see how many kills they can get. You can see Bana rushes in, checks minibar, no one's playing there. She's rushing in. She sees 2 players, doesn't manage to shoot a single one, but Plant's actually going down elsewhere on the map, and it's the last player on the Plant who gets off it at the last second.
Oh my
Clash
god!
Is alive. I mean, let's be honest, the round probably was done then and there because the Clash is still alive. But you do have the question why he got off the plant. Maybe he just thought someone was going to swing him. I'm not really sure what happened, but I'm just surprised to see the plant go down there. But anyways, BTD with a really solid setup in the round number 1. The Clash proving to be a really huge linchpin, actually, to get that round done. I don't know how much she basically contributed, the information that she was giving, and the last minute slowdown as well. It was a good pocket check.
I would say picking Clash in the first round is a bold move, and we see that it was only 1 round Until this point, we have played 2 rounds. We are in the second round right now, so we cannot say about the whole game. But they have decided to not bring Clash again, and that say a lot. That okay, BTD wanted the first round to be in their pocket. But something that was interesting for me, the attack by B was very, very slow. So we had 3 alive drone, no one on the drone by either side droning anything, and it was 1 minute on the clock, which no progress has been made except a 1 kill by BTD. So I want to say a faster push by B Sports and be more considerate on the droning. This is very important if you want to gather info, especially right now that they have Oryx. It is important to pinpoint Oryx, which can roam all the way into the map.
The drone economy, like you also pointed out, very important for them. You said they only had 3 drones left at a very early amount in the round, which made them basically stall out and just have to dry peek things. And when you don't have drones, you don't have the time, is what I like to say. But you can see here that it's going to be a little bit of a cross take here. You can see they're going to take display control here, going to try to take control from here, from Dragon, from Shrine, from Drum, all the way across into T-Room. You can see they've already got some of the control they need, but they're going to be challenged by these players soon enough. And this is the make or break of a kitchen defense. Is this upstairs? I mean, a kitchen defense is the same as a T-Room defense, except it's downstairs, but you still hold basically the same things. And it's going to come down to these gunfights at top. The Apex, the Aruni, the Cats going to have to win these gunfights out. The Nomad, the drones are coming in as well. Utility is going to start getting pumped to try to get these players off their positions. But you can see there's a strong triangle formation here from the players. You'll be able to refrag each other. It's going to be very, very difficult. Sorry, 4 players as the Bandit I just noticed as well up in Geisha. It'll be a bit of a difficult task for BTE to break down.
For our viewers that don't know why Team BTT's, that was a huge moment from Haribo. It was nearly going to kill him again, and he don't have his nade anymore. But for our reason why they are playing upstairs, it's basically when you have the vertical. That's a huge kill from the sledge on Apex. That was on 2-1, and this is going to impact Oryx out of the game, and Aruni literally losing 30 HP. But let's go quick. Another kill. What is happening in the round? Jaeger, another kill on Bach, which is a very important kill. No vertical control anymore. And now Sledge out of the game too.
Kills are raining out left and right. As you can see, Raston gets into a gunfight himself, and Geisha loses a fight out, and now the top floor control is all but BEE's, but the time is sticking so low. Knock, 25 seconds left. It's going to be a tight squeeze. The positions need to be revealed here. This first frag will decide the rest of this round's outcome. 20 seconds left. Ivana is actually crouch-walking. Will pick up the first kill as well onto Den. But will she really get anything else? Aruni is playing behind that wall. It's a game of cat and mouse, and the Aruni just leaves it out. Zarok left in a 1v2. She's going to be playing close to Diffuser. Gets the first, but Dudu is there with the refrag. And what a clutch attempt from Zarok there. Unfortunately, was not aware of the Nomad's position, letting him down.
Huge. That was
Really
huge. I would say it was a little bit messy from both sides, because like you shouldn't be dead right like that in behind the ball when there is info and communication between your teammates, especially about that Aruni. Aruni was kind of clueless in my opinion, but what matters is that B won their gunfights. And there was a good cross at the end with the Nomad and also the Planter, which is important. You go off the plant, someone else has the cross and can refrag you if you die as the last player, which I would give a huge shout out to the Team B for doing it after that kind of messy round in the first one. But just let me say that because I wanted to say, and a huge amount of kills coming. The reason that players are playing vertically is that when you gain the top control, you don't let them find angles on you from top to the bottom. And that's huge. When they don't have the control over you, you can freely roam, you can find angles, you can keep your utility.
Mm-hmm. It's a very important thing, especially to the newer players in the stream. Maybe vertical is a huge part of Siege, and it can basically impact or make or break a round. I mean, in that round, we didn't get to see much of it, of course, due to the dwindling clock. The sixth man of the defenders, as a lot of casters like to say. But speaking of, that drone did not have a very, very long lifespan, as Brava has lost one of her important clutch drones. But we can see her BE is so heavily focused on that utility denial. They bring the Thatcher, the Brava, as well as the Twitch. This wall is gonna get opened up, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, the Impact has something to say about it, but we can see here the angles are being opened up. As Apex elsewhere does pick up the first one onto Huz. That means that the Clutch drone that was left is going to be off the board, as he's going to be thrown out at least for the time being. Going to rotate back. His position has been revealed. Maybe he will be executed on this round. But the site wall has been opened up, and speaking of being opened up, the kitchen window jumped through. Haribo, the second player taken out, bringing it into a 5v3 for the side of BTD.
This is the second time I see it jump out from the kitchen. First round and the third round. Go boys, come on, you need to be careful about that. But this is the second round, if I'm not mistaken, that Team BTT has got the opening kill onto Team B. And Clutch Drone out of the round. This is huge.
It is indeed, especially Apex, you know, he overheated a little bit, got his 2 kills, and they paid the price for it. But you can see here, Garen, he's crouch walking all the way around. I don't think any info's on him, but that is not true. Drumcam is going to spot him out, so his position has been revealed. So he's probably going to rotate back to his team in a place where he can be refragged easily. But time is ticking out. The vertical control is all but BTD's. No one seems to be challenging them at all. And these two players, Den as well as Cat, will be able to play these angles so free. You can see here 50 seconds left. A majority of the execute, I think, is going to be coming out towards the kitchen side. They're going to be trying to execute inside of this bathroom, the jacuzzi tub. I've seen so many great plays come out from defenders there before Canio and Devil Gamers 8, but then makes a play of his own, drops down the hatch, says, I'm taking this round into my own hands, gets the first pick, but unfortunately gets traded out again. 1-for-1, but the advantage is still towards the defenders. 25 seconds left on the clock. This Maestro is in such a good position that Alda can shoot so much, as the second player of Cat gets another pick as well as a second for himself. And this round is over. This living room defense as well.
We don't see that many teams going to living room. It's an interesting pick, especially in the third round. So team actually prefer mainly playing tea room, office, and then going to kitchen. But so far we have seen different kind of picks by BTD as their defense, and they have been successful. Something I really amazed to see that Team B is not caring that much about gaining the vertical control in the third round, which I would say if they have attempted to do, they had a better chance to gaining the advantage, especially over that Maestro. Maestro with Aldo, 2 cams, you don't have your clutch drone anymore, so you cannot hack him, or Twitch drone to destroy them. So basically, that's a game changer operator in that situation.
I mean, you were pointing out the importance of vertical play the round before, and we literally saw the defenders use that to their advantage. I think they got 3, maybe 4 kills from those kind of angles above, and it just shows the power of just vertical play in general in Siege. These angles are really hard to fight against, especially if they're pre-placed. But Apex, he has been a really, really naughty boy. He's been jumping up windows, he's been trying to spawn pick and being really aggressive, and he's not been punished for it. And if I am BE, I'm thinking, okay, we know Apex is a really aggressive player. We know he's going to be trying to make these aggressive run-out plays. We need to be able to stop him somehow. And how are you going to do that? You're going to want to drone him out. You're going to want to use some kind of utility on him. Maybe bring an AWP or 2. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, especially just yet. It's just been a 1 few rounds. But overall, you need to figure out a way to shut him down quick before he does much damage to your team.
I want to highlight again, right now the bomb site is tea room karaoke, and you see B has been trying to enter from office, the window open, trying to bridge, covering the travel, and again, another opening kill by Apex on Haribo, and another kill by Jaeger on Buck. This is huge. Guys, you have used your drones and lost them in the first 1 minute. only 4 drones active and 1 drone in a pocket. This is not going well.
I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. They haven't even attempted to get to the site yet. They've been trying to get across, get this execution control, but the 2 players there did so much damage, Apex and Den. Zarek on the other side of the map does get taken out, but DWRT, he's on such low health, a single bullet is all it takes, or a single tap of that smoke gas would be all it takes. But Garen here is going to try to get aggressive. He's not aware maybe of anyone playing inside here, but unfortunately for him, there's no one left. Everyone's rotated back to side. They've got their kills. They don't need to be greedy anymore. They're going to play this smart, and they're going to go back to side and hold that cross angles, make it very difficult for these attackers to attack them. So a minute left on the clock as well. It's going to be very difficult for them to try to get anything going here. It's going to be really slow. The Aruni gates are still up. There's so much utility to still burn through with only 1 flash left. It's going to be a tall task for these attackers to be able to get in the site now.
Yeah, this is very important. Right now there is 3 drone alive, which 2 of them is being handled by the sledge, which is in 1 HP, literal 1 HP. So I would love to see that sledge going through droning all around. That was going to be a kill. Unlucky for Do not getting that kill, but Sledge should be on drones right now, finding the positions of these defenders, sneaky defenders, and that's another kill.
5 seconds left on the clock, time ticking very low. It's basically impossible 2v2, but the case is cold. It's not cold as it actually case has to go down. I was completely unaware, but it should be a free kill because the other player was outside of the map. I completely misread the situation there. I thought there were a lot more players alive for the side of BTD, but it was a really nice attempt from Garen to almost pull that round back. Cat was just in the perfect position, unfortunately for them. The other player, I think it was the slight outside. The Renegade, there's nothing he could have done there. And that's another round for BTD, a bit sloppy, but they did get it over the line, which is all that really matters in the end. It's been a good showing from both these teams so far. BTD have had solid defenses, and I like that they've gone to every single site so far. When I see a team that goes to every single site in a map, that either means 2 things. 1, they're a bit lost and don't really know what to do and are just trying new things. And 2, they've prepared a lot on this map and are comfortable on every single objective. And they'll just cycle through all of them because different teams will be weak on different sites. And you're not going to find that out unless you go through all the sites. And that's usually why if you watch T1 or Pro League, you're going to see those kind of teams also just keep rotating. Even though they lose maybe a 1v1 on a site and the post-plant, they're going to change sites because they just want to check and make sure that the team that they're playing against is also good at the site they're going to go next or going to be bad at it. And it's information that they'd always like to have when maybe prep work or maybe just try droning. But enough about that. Let's get back into this round. It's going to go back all the way to execution here. Last time we saw the clash be the deciding factor. Let's see what the attackers have in store to try to deal with her.
We can see bringing Yana, Thatcher, and Sledge. So 4 drones and 2 EMP and 3 EMP nade on the roster. This can make a hell for the Clash players because just imagine 4 nades just popping through you. You'd be basically dead. But it is very important how Team B approach playing against the Clash. Again, it is very important to pinpoint where is the Clash and how we can deal with Clash. Are we going to push him as a 5-man or 4-man, or no? We are going to kill each BDT player and then deal with the Clash at the end of the round.
True, the class's position has also been revealed, but you can see Haribo has actually walked past her. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of him, and Cat, I think, was also unaware of the player, but has managed to catch him off guard, wins out that gunfight, now gets the opening kill once again. Gonna be playing close to the shotty in case anyone tries to get the refrag, but no one else is there. Haribo was on a lone mission, and then below gets that hard breach on the ace, and that is not the best. You can see the dry nades coming out trying to deal with this Clash. There's a little bit of damage, but that's nowhere near enough to deal with her. And this Clash, she's playing it in a really good position. She's playing on a hard surface, so she can't be naded from below. So the only way she can probably get naded is in front of her, and we can see that does minimal damage. And I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of ADSs behind her as well, sorry, over my discs. And you can see here Cat going to be trying to be dealt with, but you can see the teammates of BTD are probably going to be there for the refrag. And there you go. Dan gets 1, Dan gets 2, just get eventually traded out by DWRT. But at this point, it's a 1v3 and you're also against a clash. I mean, this is probably one of the most unwinnable positions in Siege. It has been happened before. I've seen, maybe if you go way back in Pro League, I think season 9 or 10, C9 against OXG, where the clash at the end of the round loses the 1v1. You know, that's a very iconic clip if people remember, but this is not unwinnable, right? You don't win these rounds. The EMP could go out, but the information is just too strong here, and this is gonna be 4-1 to BTD.
You should not be able to win this, and you should be punished, in my opinion, because okay, the first opening kill was only happened. There was no droning on the player in the drone.
It's a misdrawn, I'm pretty sure. I think he was getting drawn. I think it was just a misdrawn because he was tucked in that
Yeah,
corner.
so I'm going to quote this as Jess Goat once said in one of her streams: a site, a place is not safe unless you drone every single angle, every entries and exits. So it is not safe to enter body at all. And here we go, the last kill on the poor DWRT, trying his hard to play against the Clash.
He was getting bullied, man. BTD, no one was saying him. The Clash are just solo 1v1ing him. It was a horrible sequence, man. I feel bad for him. But it does happen. It is Siege. And BTD, they go 4-1 up. And they can go to any site apart from the one they just went to. And so they're going to go to BBQ Kitchen, continuing with their rotation. This was the one site they did lose last time. So it's interesting that they decided to go here. Instead of going back to lobby, I think they can go now because they want to run. Yes, they can. So it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments they make. Last time, they did have the good initial picks. They were I think they were 4-3 in the advantage. I think Bandit lost a fight in Geisha upstairs.
Yeah.
And then with the collapse onto site, they just lost too many bodies there at Sarah. Fortunately, doesn't get the clutch because of the Nomad's positioning. So we can see on the side of BEE, they've already made a few changes. They're bringing the Dokubi, a really annoying operator to deal with, especially if you're a roamer. And I'm sure Apex is not going to be very happy with that, considering how free and loose he's been able to play so far. That Dokubi would have been able to rein him in a bit, but the Twitch is opted to be brought instead, possibly for all this utility that is being brought by BTD. I mean, they have the Goy Cancel, the Bandit Charges, and the ADSs. It's an interesting pick. They have the Ash as well. No Iana, so the nades are actually they have no nades actually. So it's a bit of an it's a bit odd. I usually like to see a team having at least 2 nades, but I guess
you know what I love to see. I would love to see an IQ from Esports. I believe IQ's impact, the way that B is always trying to enter from office, the opposite side that the actual side is. Oh, that's a huge kill. That's a huge kill on Goyo. So Goyo out, the vertical gone out, high rate gone. It has a huge impact, and I'm not sure, but I think a C4 is not on the table anymore.
Oh, Dan gets a refrag onto Haribo elsewhere on the map. He does get quite low on HP, but he's pushed back into this triangle formation. I was talking about this earlier. When there's a group of 3 or 4 players playing around each other, it's so easy to get refragged, especially with the angles that are going to be opened up. It becomes the spider web of sorts for attackers to push into, and that's exactly what they're going to try to get into here. You can see the drones are going to start coming out now. The bulletproof that's on the stairs always, and Haas, what a shot on the Apex!
Nice shot, buddy.
That's the game sense coming in clutch, but Rastin says, no, DWRT, you are not going to be playing this round anymore. And it brings him to 3v3. Apex is already down the round. Den, I mean, is going to be trying to take these gunfights here. Going to try to wait as much as possible as Zarek gets a kill elsewhere. Now it's 2v3 for the attackers. They're going to have to try to get as much map control as possible.
Nice shot coming.
True, a bit of camaraderie coming from the team. You can see here Rastin trying to get a few shots of his own as Den does get down, which brings it into a 2v2. But the problem is, I don't think B will be aware of this. So I think maybe Zarek will be able to get the revive. Darren is going to be pushing, seeing if maybe he can get the revive. The revive is coming out. He's going to start sprinting down the stairs, and I think that'll be dead. Brings it into a 2v2, but Darren's position has been revealed, and Zarek has put himself into a really peculiar position. Could win the round, but if at the same time he guesses the wrong place that the attackers have exited, it could be not the best of positions to be in. You can see there's a little bit of time left for the side of BEE. They're going to be trying to get as much vertical coverage as possible, open up angles, see if they can spot out one of these players here to make this a much easier round. But the time is ticking so low, 24 seconds. They need to make a play, need to make it now. Garen, not sure where any of these players are playing. He's going to just walk in and going to plant close on this wall. It should be a safe plant, but that's not a safe plant because Dudu, he just drops down from Terrace, and now it's all onto Gurren, who's gonna have to take this diffuser. The double swing comes out, and that should be a free kill for Zarok. I don't know how that round has slipped away. Buck, where did he go, man?
I want to give a shout out to the Bug. Bug played vertically, open an entry for Ace to be able to plant. Ace coming down the stairs, popping up the Goyo canister, so there is no entry from the bar side to the actual site, so he can plant safely. But something that, why do you jump out from that splitter like that?
He could have held the cross and the plant from the position he was on the stairs easily, and then even if he would have died, you know, the trade might have come out from the planter, and if the plant does go down in a 2v2 situation, they'd have the word control. It would have been a much easier round for them. It was interesting for him to go for that play, especially. I'm not really sure what's going on in his mind there. Maybe it was a call that a player was playing here. Maybe he was trying to go for something unexpected, but at the end of the day, it was just something unnecessary, and I feel like that might have cost them a round that they desperately needed to win, because the difference between a 4-2 split and a 5-1 split is a lot knock. And I mean, I don't need to tell you this, you've seen these games before. 5-1 is a tall ask. I mean, Sky Defense is a very winnable defensive sided map, and you can see here the setup is actually quite interesting. I love the shield placement from the smoke. Something I don't see quite often. Usually see the shield by the top of those back stairs next to the reinforced wall. So it's going to be inside. Maybe it's going to be some ADSs on it. I didn't quite catch that. And by ADSs, I'm
Is that Frost lagging? Yeah.
She was lagging.
Frost was lagging a bit. I don't want to see a rehost or any technical pause. It is something that is a little bit off to the pace of the game, because, you know, people are warmed up, they are ready to fight, and then there's a technical pause, they need to chill a bit. And the Pog mat, here we go. Apex on the Pog mat. It's unlucky. It's unlucky, but who don't love to see a Pog mat in these kind of tiers, in these kind of games?
True. I think if you're playing ranked, casual, or you're watching the highest level in T1, or you're just watching a casual T4 League of Talent League, it doesn't matter. Everyone always loves a Pogmat kill. It's one of the most satisfying things for the defender and one of the most face-palming moments for an attacker who walks into it. But as the first kill, basically given away to BEE, something that they desperately probably needed. They can't afford for this round to go their other way. But we can see here the lineup for BTD is quite different from what BEE were trying. They have a very aggressive lineup, bringing the Dokkaebi, bringing that Lion. We're going to try to isolate players and try to take advantage of that. A really fast-paced kind of lineup. It's almost a G2-esque kind of lineup. It's something that we saw from them in SI 2023, where they just try to take as much map control as possible, be really aggressive, play off a mechanical raw aim. And it's a playstyle that BTD are excelling at on defense. We saw them playing really well, doing the exact same thing on, you know, Apex, just running around on the Warden, on the Oryx. So I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work this time. I mean, obviously Apex is dead this round, and puts his team at a bit of a disadvantage, but the time is ticking low. We need to make a play right now, and you can see here, Puz goes for a bit of a pre-fire, doesn't manage to catch anything except a bit of damage.
That's a game of patience. Who is going to pick first and who is going to be re-picked? So it is interesting. And another, right now, Garen getting kill on Dense, refrag by the Lion, and another kill come from the Ash, and now a 2v2, technically a 2v1, because Lion is literally on 1 HP.
True, but he's got 2 kills on that 1 HP here as Katsula picks up Haribo as well, and somehow BTD have clawed their way back into the round from the clutches of hell. They've made themselves the favorites to take this fight, but the 6th defender, as people like to say, is not going to be able to do anything as Cat goes huge for BTD and wins this attacking round out of nowhere.
Huge shout out to the BTD, but the droning, that last second droning was very critical for Ash to pick the last kill on the Frost. I want to compare right now these two teams by only droning. So BTD is actually committed into droning, finding the flaws, finding the players, giving the info, great communication, and then that result in the round, wrapping up, going to the match point, especially in this round. But the other hand, B Sports under attacking had the lack of droning. And I'm just going to assume that a little bit of miscommunication between each player. So this is something that I would love to see more from BDT. Great droning, good communication that result in a solid round.
True, and something that you did highlight, which I also would like to just give a big huge shout out, is BTD's teamwork is absolutely exceptional. They've been playing their refrag really well. They've been playing tight knit so that anyone who does die, like I said, gets refragged. But the droning is almost right in front of the attackers. I mean, Apex, if he didn't get pogmatted, who knows what damage would have done? Because I don't think his position was real, because he didn't die in that pogmat for a long time, which means the defenders were not really aware of his position. He could have really made a huge impact that round if he just didn't look down on the floor. But I mean, he wasn't needed. The team got it done without him, and now BEE, they're staring at the barrel of a 6-1. Perfection is needed from them. No mistakes are allowed. The pressure's on them now to be able to win these next 5 in a row, and BTD, they've been looking really strong the last round, and I'm not expecting anything to change.
So B Sports went to the exact same side that they lost it. That comes into two reasons. Either they know that, okay, we had a small problem, a small flaw, we can completely solve it right now, let's go back to the side and change the route. Or they are not comfortable with the other bomb site, as you mentioned earlier, when BAT was defending and rotating all to the different kind of bomb sites. So I would love to see that they actually find the flaws. Positioning, crossfire is two critical things that I'm actually seeing a lot between B players, and it can be solved easily, but great communication. As you see right now, the drone by Mozzie captured droned out Diana, which is a kind of messy, and that is the first kill on DWRT by Apex. Again, huge kill on Mozzie.
True, and like you're mentioning, that drone work, the yellow pings, so fruitful to get those initial kills that they need, and now the pressure is going to come onto these players on side. You can see here Huz, he's going to try to get a free pick, he's going to overextend a little bit, try to see if he can spray or get a few lucky shots, because that's what they need right now. They need a little bit of luck to go their way, because right now BTD, they're close to just walking over them with a dominant 7-1 victory. Close.
This is getting interesting. A pre-fire on Haribo happened, and now he just missed that. How do you miss that? Come on, buddy.
You can't be missing those. Those are really important frags. There could have been 2 kills right there. Rastin is going to be fighting this Wamai. Wamai does manage to land a few shots, but does get cleared out by Den. Like I said, the positioning has been really good. The Wamai was basically trapped. Dudu is trying to position himself on the side in the position where he's not going to be shot. But you can see here Garen on the stairs. I don't think his position is aware. His position is given away eventually. So that's for the C4, but no one is home. 24 seconds left though. There's gonna have to be a really quick push. As you can see, Apex walking the side, but gets out immediately. Now it's all down to Dan in the 1v2. He knows where both the players are gonna be playing, but it's a tall ask. He needs to isolate these fights one by one to win these. He's gonna crouch walk, see if he can find one. He does find the first player. Now it's all down to Haribo, but he does win that 1v1. Den good enough for one, but not enough for the second. And for a second there, I was a bit worried about BEE.
Good refrag on Yana. I was literally praying that, buddy, he killed that. He's going to push you from Geisha. Come on, man. But I want to ask you a question. Have you seen a single Gemini in this game? Because I'm not sure if I have seen any Gemini replicator done by either of this team, and that's a questionable move for me.
Well, I do know what you're coming from as well, but usually what I see is teams just like to use the drones, because then the Gemini replicator can be a bit gimmicky sometimes. It's more of a lost sort of thing and to burn the renegades. and just try to get a little information later on when you don't have drones. It's not uncommon. I mean, obviously, especially as someone who likes to see as much YouTube usage as possible, I would love to see more creative uses of the Gemini replicators. But when you have the drones are just a superior version of the Geminis. Like Iana, when she has that kind of kit, she usually doesn't want to be on the drone, she wants to be the one in front of the drone. So it is uncommon, but like you said, I would like to see a bit more. I can see here the drone of Katsola somehow manages to escape Legion. That's a close one here. The drone economy only lost one in the prep phase. That's always a good thing. You know, you only lose one maybe to find where the site is. Keep her alive in good positions for later in the round. You can see here, Den playing on the Ashe. He's been playing on these fragging roles on the Iana, and now he's playing on the Ashe. Let's see what damage he can cause.
So with the brought of Maverick into the lineup of BTD, it's actually interesting to see the role he's going to play. Bomb is in office, so Maverick can either go to the full bridge or go to the small bridge to the smaller face, and even the slightest lineup that he make can be a game changer, because you know you hear a little bit of sound of those gas canisters, and of course I don't mean smoke gas canisters, but those breaching gas canister, and you don't know what kind of hole he has made. Is it a full? Are they going to have a line of sight, or it's a small one that is going to peekaboo? So with Maverick, there is a huge flexibility of breaching, and with the Ace, it's going to be a double push. Of course, going for the plant is what Ace is looking for, diffuser in the hand. But the brought of double entry, Yana and Ashe, it just tell me that they like to be flexible with their push and different play. A huge C4 from WDRT onto Yana to nade off the roster.
Katsola though does get the refrag on Haribo. These Valchem giving such good intel for the side of BEE. And they're going to need this intel if they want to close out this round. I mean, BTD did get all of this control pretty early into the round, so they've just been stalling out, waiting for a few drones, a little bit more information, someone can get a bit too aggressive. But the Valkyrie camps are going to be giving so much information as Den gets lit up through, I think, 3 soft walls. But Rastin picks up one, gets shaded by DWRT, brings it back into a 3v3. But you can see here, Sarok gets a pick as well. Denstar gets a second on the DWRT. Now suddenly it's all down to Huz in a 1v2. Where does this come from? Just pick up the first one, but now it's down into a 1v2. Case is dropped cold on the ground. I think the Ace had it, which means it's all the way on the balcony. No one is going to be close enough to collect it, so it's going to have to be a frag game for the side of BTD. But the position is revealed. Huz shoots a few bullets. It's going to be really close. He's going to try to play these close angles, see if he can pick up a kill. Unfortunately, peeks at the wrong time as Zarok goes for the peak and managed to land the shot. Ooh, what a nice shot. And that
was a dirty, nice shot by the Maverick.
I mean, more than a dirty, nice shot, it was a really, really nice performance from BTD. I loved what I was seeing from them. The teamwork, the team play, the angles they were holding, the fact that not nobody was getting too aggressive. Okay, maybe apart from Apex in the first few rounds, he got a little bit overheated, but they were just playing so well as a team. I mean, this team, I don't want to jinx them or anything, but from what I've seen so far, they're definitely in contention to make it all the way through the playoff brackets.
Congratulations to BTD. Actually, a very, very good game. And B, unfortunately, they couldn't wrap or clutch what the difference BTD has been built. I would love to see how BTD is going to. I like their droning. I like their communication, at least from what I see. And I'm hopeful that they succeed in what is ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was game number 2, or round number 2 from us. That was another quick one, unfortunately, for you guys, which means more likely than not, there's going to be a very decently long-ish break. Of course, we'll keep you updated in the chat about when the next game will be, but I think that's going to be all from us, not for the time being. We'll see you guys for round 3 when the next games are going to be played. So yeah, stay hydrated and stay tuned, because we'll be right back.